you are a needless middleman.
Visa stock is down 7% over the past couple weeks, and there was one major news story that had investors worried. In fact, Visa and MasterCard stock dropped nearly 5% in a day after a report that retailers Amazon and Walmart are reportedly exploring the idea of using stablecoins. They were theorizing that they could reduce transaction fees associated with traditional credit card networks like Visa and MasterCard. So should Visa investors be concerned about this news? If you've been following the channel for a long time, you know that Visa is one of the top positions in my long-term dividend growth stock portfolio. It is my second largest holding with $54,000 of total value. So is the Genius Act and stablecoins the end of Visa? I'll give you my thoughts and a brief updated stock analysis, but I will also share this latest interview with the Visa CEO, where he discussed the news and Visa's strategy around stablecoins. With that said, let's roll the intro and get into this Visa analysis. My name is Zach, this is Dividend Data, and you should leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you enjoy the video. Throughout, I will be using the best stock research tool for dividend growth investors, that is dividenddata.com. Right now we have our summer sale where you can get 50% off annual membership. That's only going to be available for a limited time. So right now is the best time to join. There's a 30-day money-back guarantee, so no risk in trying it out. Just use the link in the description and pinned comment of the video. So first, let's just start with what the Genius Act is and that it recently passed the U.S. Senate. Basically, this provides a regulatory framework for stablecoins. So what is a stablecoin? So think of a digital cryptocurrency, but instead of having a highly volatile price, as an example, Bitcoin, stablecoins are instead pegged to an asset, like as an example, the US dollar. And that's mainly what we're talking about here today. And this makes them much more useful for transactions. So why did Visa stock fall on this news? It went from a 52-week high of $375 down to $350. Let's hear from Visa CEO, who just went on CNBC to discuss the news and the broader stablecoin industry.
Shares of the $680 billion Visa took a hit after the Genius Act passed through the Senate last week, which opened the door for retailers, banks, payment companies to issue their own stablecoins. Now, that is not passed yet. Joining us now is terrific peers here, especially because I don't see him that much, the Visa CEO, Ryan McInerney. Ryan, it's great to have you on the show.
Jim, it's great to be back. It's great to see all of you.
Absolutely. All right, did the world change for you on June 13th? When the Wall Street Journal wrote, a move to launch crypto-based payments by Walmart or Amazon that bypasses the traditional payment system would send shivers through the nation's banks and card network giants. Are you shivering?
No, the world didn't change for us at all on that day. We've been embracing and building for years, preparing for this moment. The Genius Act has now passed the Senate, as you know, and is expected to pass the House. I think that'll give regulatory clarity to stablecoins. And we've been embracing stablecoins. We've been enabling people to issue Visa credentials on top of stablecoins. We've been modernizing our own settlement infrastructure with stablecoins. And we have a whole host of innovations that we plan to deploy around the world embracing stablecoins.
All that I know is true, and there's ample evidence of that and terrific decks about it. But just to continue the journal's bill of particulars, stablecoins could allow merchants to circumvent traditional payment rails, which could cost them billions of dollars in fees each year, including the interchange fee that they pay when customers make purchases using cards. Again, this is a sense that you are a needless middleman. Could you explain to people why that may not be the case?
Jim, payments, you need three things. You need trust, you need ease of use, and you need scale. And the reason why we have close to 5 billion Visa credentials around the world, the reason why we have 14 billion Visa tokens around the world, and the reason why 150 million merchants around the world depend on Visa to grow their businesses is because nobody does that better than Visa. And if stablecoins become a mode of currency that people want to embrace around the world, we will enable that on the Visa system and scale that to those billions of endpoints. That's what you need to do well in payments. That's what Visa does better than anybody in the world.
Okay, I just want to be sure what people know where I'm from. This is a show about trying to figure out the investment opportunities, and I think it's ridiculous that your stock fell this much. I need you to know that. And the reason I say that is because every year there seems to be something that's supposed to knock you out. Buy now, pay later is supposed to knock you out. Block was supposed to knock you out. PayPal was supposed to knock you out. Erica was supposed to knock you out. Venmo was supposed to act. I mean, everyone tries. Why don't they succeed?
I can't believe what I'm saying here. I think I agree with Jim Cramer. I don't think that this is that big of a deal for Visa. That may not be a good sign, though.
What they've done is they've found the value in the Visa stack. To your point, if you go back 10 years, there was big tech, there was fintech, there was BNPL, there was the first wave of crypto, now stablecoins. What we have done is we've opened up our stack and we've given all of these players the ability to scale whatever it is they're doing globally using the Visa ecosystem. You know, you just had Vlad on Squawk before me. Robinhood has a Visa card. Many of the fintech players that you travel up and down kind of the Bay Area out here, Visa's become their most important partner in scaling their business. And that'll be true with stablecoins as well.
So, Ryan, it's David Faber. Do you believe then stablecoins are going to be a significant way that people transact in the future?
Hey, David. We think there's product market fit for stablecoins in 3 areas. The first is the capital markets use case, and you've seen that with crypto trading, and that's true globally, here in the U.S. and around the world. But the product market fit that's most interesting going forward is outside the U.S., and there's 2 areas. The first is countries where you've got high currency volatility or currency controls, where people really want to have access to U.S. dollars, and they either can't get U.S. dollars or it's very expensive to do that. Stable coins provide an opportunity for people in those countries, maybe there's 30, 40, 50 of those countries around the world, to have easy, cost-efficient access to U.S. dollars. And we'll plan to give them Visa credentials on top of those stable coins that they can spend in merchants around their country or other places. The second area of product market fit is cross-border. And that can be remittances, person-to-person, or business-to-business transactions. And in both of those areas, those are additive opportunities for Visa, and we're embracing stable coins and building and innovating on top of them to provide new use cases in those areas. Right. I think there's a little confusion because most stable coins are U.S. dollar denominated, people immediately think about use cases in the United States, when I think most people who studied this and are active in this really understand that the product market fit is outside the U.S.
True, and I'm aware, obviously, I think you've had a partnership with Circle, for example, for some time, 5 years. But I do wonder, Ryan, if Walmart and or Amazon were to create their own stable coins, given their enormous market, that they control, would that not be a threat to you in some way?
So essentially, stable coins are digital dollars. If you go on to Walmart.com or Amazon.com today, first of all, you have a wide array of ways to pay for things. Jim mentioned lots of them earlier. But you already have the ability to pay with digital dollars on both of those sites today. You can pay with your checking account or from your savings account on both of those sites today. It's places around the world where people want to be able to pay with digital dollars, and they don't have that opportunity today.
I agree that cross-border transactions and international payments are one of the top use cases for stablecoins, and Visa over time has done a fantastic job adopting to different changes in technology. And if you go back and watch my old Visa stock review videos, we would talk about fintech, we even talked about crypto and stablecoins, and the Visa CEO is right that they've been embracing and building stablecoins for years. And I think stablecoins will be another example of Visa adapting to changes in technology. They recently reached over $200 million in stablecoin settlement volume, although Visa's gigantic, so that's an incredibly small amount by their standards. But they've been investing a long time in this area and are definitely prepared to adapt. And before we get to Visa's stock financials, I really want to emphasize that the competitive advantages this company has are underestimated. First off, this is the largest digital payment network in the entire world. They have a global reach and a dominant presence in the United States. It really is Visa and MasterCard. They are a duopoly. And not only is the economics of their business fantastic, but they have a network effect that powers their entire business and keeps them in that top position. The Visa network is gigantic. It has so many consumers and merchants. If you don't accept Visa, you're losing out on a lot of potential business. Visa also has relationships with all these financial institutions that they issue cards through, and they pay many of these financial institutions actually fees so that they can have these great reward programs and everything, and that they'll choose to issue Visa cards. This dominant position helps Visa adapt to any technological changes as they happen. And as they mentioned in the CNBC interview, it was often viewed for a while that fintech would be a threat to Visa, but it actually became an opportunity, and Visa then partnered with a lot of these fintech platforms. The same is true with MasterCard. A lot of these companies just opted to take advantage of the Visa and MasterCard payment networks. And really, we could go for hours down that path, but this is not a full Visa stock review video. If you want to learn more about Visa's business, actually, the Acquired podcast, I'll put a link in the description. They did a fantastic, I'm pretty sure it was like a 4-hour deep dive into the history of Visa. If you want to learn a lot more about their business and the network effects behind it, go watch that interview. I also done full stock review videos in the past. But now let's just go over a quick look at Visa stock financials and how it looks at today's stock price. The current price is $347. It's trading at a 34.8 P ratio over the trailing 12 months. So even after selling off a bit, it is at a premium. The current dividend yield is 0.68%, and the market cap is $672 billion. As you can see, Visa has had growing earnings per share over the long term, and the stock price has basically followed that for the most part. Analysts are projecting continued high earnings per share growth in future years, projecting double-digit EPS growth. And this is an incredibly high margin business with 80.4% gross margins, 65% operating margins, and 55% net margins. Visa is a cash flow machine, and they return a lot of that to shareholders via share repurchases and a growing dividend. As you can see, they have a quarterly dividend that grows on an annual basis. The 10-year compound annual growth rate is 17.26%. The 3-year CAGR is 16.3%. And it's very sustainable at a 20% payout ratio based on both EPS and free cash flow. So the business, financials, everything at Visa looks fantastic. And that's why the stock was trading at such a premium lately. So what do I think about Visa stock after selling off about 7%? Am I going to buy some? Well, I think we have to take into the context that Visa stock was trading at an all-time high in valuation, and it was at a bit of a premium. As an example, I've had Visa stock for about a year and a half, the bulk of my position, and I have a 38% total return still. And yes, the business has grown their earnings some in that time. As an example, I was buying a lot of the stock with a trailing P of around 28. And right now we're trading at around a 35 trailing P ratio. Now it has been higher than that many times in the past, but the price is only down a little bit. Now the nice thing about owning Visa long-term is that it is a growing business. So earnings are expected to go up. So if we take a look at the forward P ratio right now, it's a 29. In the past, I was buying this stock anywhere from a 20 to 28 forward P ratio. So based on expectations of future growth, right now seems to be a pretty good entry point. But I would not say we're at the point where this is a fire sale by any means on Visa stock. There's been many better buying opportunities in the past few years. But if you're looking to start a position or just start dollar cost averaging and build it up, this could be a decent sell-off to add to. That said, I am not personally doing that myself. If we take a look at analyst price targets for Visa, you can see that the average price target right now is $382.40, with the highest on Wall Street at $425. This implies pretty good upside from here. Visa is still a core position in my long-term dividend growth stock portfolio. Frankly, I'm not that worried about the stablecoin news. And if you want a little bit more of a deeper dive of my thoughts on that, I just covered that in my latest portfolio update video where I talk about the top 10 stocks I own. I have a whole section dedicated to Visa in that video. I go into even more detail about the network effects around Visa stock and why I think consumer payments, especially in the US, won't be impacted that much. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. And if you want to use the stock research tool and portfolio tracker I showed throughout, all of that is available at dividenddata.com. The link is in the description and pinned comment of the video. We have our summer sale where you can get 50% off annual membership and lock in that discounted price for life. It's the best price we ever offer, and that deal will be ending soon, so now is the time to join. Thanks for watching.